Hello. The object-based sculpture that immediately caught my attention as one having a spiritually rooted conceptual theme is Ladder for Booker T. Washington. Here is a picture of the sculpture. This sculpture was created in 1996 by artist/carpenter Martin Puryear. Puryear is best known for his woodworking and skills and excellent craftsmanship. His artwork is unique because it is created with both artistic and utilitarian motives. Puryear has a deep interest in tradesmen and people who work with indigenous materials, which is also reflected in his art. Ladder for Booker T. Washington is a prime example because the sculpture is made from a golden ash tree that was growing on Puryear's land. Puryear, from a utilitarian standpoint, would say this sculpture is a ladder. It's made just like a country ladder. That is, the side rails are cut from big giant tree trunks, and likewise the rungs in between are fashioned, from a tree just to be sturdy and stable in between. The artistic qualities of the sculpture are seen in its form and also in space. There's a forced perspective that Puryear put into the design. The sculpture is 36 feet tall, and it begins near the bottom as 11¼ inches apart between the span. But on the climb upward to the very top, the span becomes only 1¼ inch at the very top. So this gives the illusion that the ladder is receding into space faster than it actually does. While the sculpture is simplistic in design, it has a lot to offer in content. There are several spiritual undertones tied to this piece. The first theme that came to mind for me is the biblical account from Genesis of Jacob's ladder. To briefly summarize, Jacob fled after tricking his father Isaac into giving him the blessing of Abraham instead of to his twin brother Esau. So when Jacob becomes exhausted from running, he falls asleep, and he has a dream, and he sees a stairway resting on the earth with its top reaching to the heaven. And angels of God were descending and ascending the ladder. And God speaks to Jacob and promises to be with him all his life. So this, story definitely can see imagery with this ladder in it. But ladders have many uses, and in this case, it is a means of connecting from one place to another, which for Jacob is a direct connection to God. And to apply that analogy to Puryear's ladder, the object symbolizes a connection between humans and God, which ultimately is Christ, who died to save us from our sins and make us right before God. Puryear chose the title Ladder for Booker T. Washington after he completed the sculpture. The piece was not created to be about Booker T. Washington. However, the artistic metaphor does align with Washington's life and his efforts as a person born into slavery, but that ultimately was able to overcome that adversity and rise above. So the ladder here is associated with a climb and progression from the very bottom to a higher place, which relates to the broader sense of spirituality in that case. So in conclusion, Puryear's ladder is just an object and a beautiful sculpture, but it also is symbolic of spiritual themes of ascension, salvation, furtherance, and passage. So thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed, and that's my presentation. I look forward to hearing back from all of you. Have a good night. Bye now.